Long story short, we're going to go over the three-path price presentation today. I want to thank you guys for coming out. My name is Joe Pawlenty. I'm a brand performance specialist here at the Snap Fitness corporate office. It's very important that you guys know that I've been in the trenches with you through these things, and I understand how hard this can be. But if done right, the three-path price presentation is going to lead you guys to a bigger membership base and more revenues moving forward. So, first thing I want to talk about is the cold hard truth. This is very important to own as a manager, a trainer, an owner of a franchise. Most people don't stay engaged with the club past the 5-month mark. Okay? Through family, work, stress in life, things get in the way of their health and fitness, and they start to lose their attention span with us. Okay? After the 5-month mark, it's a downhill slide to the 11-month average, where people will terminate the membership. So our overall goal is to keep them longer and keep them happy. The next little bit of evidence that we have to own here is that members don't see the success they come in looking for. This is very, very typical. We have to own that, and we have to somehow deliver a package that's going to give them success. Okay, so we need to make sure that these two things are out in the open, we've said them out loud, and this is going to be our focus moving forward. We want to keep people engaged, and we want to make sure they see the success they came in looking for. What we know is that members that are engaged with a personal trainer stay 2 times longer at a club. 90% of all members have never been formally educated on cardio, weight training, or nutrition. And that health and fitness enthusiasts do not make good salespeople. These are the facts of life, but if we know this, again, this is something that we can move forward with and use to our advantage. Okay, so understand that especially this good salespeople down here thing, this is a big piece. This three-path price presentation is going to make sales easier for your health-minded professionals that weren't exactly in the business to be salespeople. Okay, because I know we run into that a lot as general managers and franchisee owners. Again, kind of just to recap, the goal here is to keep members engaged longer and make asking for the sale easy. The solution to some of these problems is a fully engaged white glove service and a success-oriented atmosphere. And notice I have in parentheses here, not equipment rental mentality. This was the old way of doing business. We would sell them an access card. They would come in, walk around for 6 to 11 months and leave. Not anymore. The business is changing. The business is changing fast, and people need help, and they're aware of it finally, which is an awesome opportunity for us to step in and deliver that service. And then the how we're going to deliver this is going to be our three-path price presentation and then our proper new member onboarding. So this is what we're going to cover today. Things you'll need before you get to the three-path price presentation are going to be the proper 3-part greeting. Now, if you don't know what this is, go on the portal, look it up. There is a script for it. But this is going to help head off any of those people that are coming in asking for prices, still thinking that you sell access cards. We need to separate ourselves from the competition by delivering these very basic things. But if you don't do that and you're getting a roadblock at the 3-part greeting, we need to practice it. We need to get better at it. We need to own that, because if we do that step properly, it's going to set up the entire process that much easier. Okay? The next one, the complete guest fitness profile. This is also a must. Second importance to the 3-part greeting. If you don't have data collection on these people, you can't help them. If you don't know what they're looking for, you can't deliver. Okay? Especially before you give the tour. You want to take the time in the guest fitness profile to let them talk. Let them tell you about themselves. Let them share everything that they want to share with a health and fitness professional before you move on. Okay? This is 90% of them talking, 10% you talking. All you're doing is taking notes, smiling, and nodding. After you've done the 3-part greeting, after you've completed the guest fitness profile, you're moving on to a feature benefit tour. If you're doing the tour properly, you're highlighting areas that they told you they wanted to see. This is your chance to prove to the member or the potential member that you are the club for them. You heard everything they said, and you want to deliver, and here's how. So if those 3 things are done, and they're done right, the three-path price presentation will be easy, okay? Now, let's use Susan. She's our typical gym goer. She's 45 years old, wants to lose 20 pounds, wants to do this in 6 months before her daughter's wedding, has little to no experience in strength training, cardiovascular training, or nutrition planning, and has a sore lower back. I think we all can agree this is probably a pretty typical situation, something that we work with a lot. But these are the things that we should have found out through our greeting, our guest fitness profile, and our tour, okay? If you don't have this information, you can't move on until you get it. So I want to stop right there. Before we get into the three-path price presentation, does anybody have any questions on getting to this point, on the steps that it takes to get to this point? I'll give you guys a few minutes to type in the answers, and I'll try to answer as fast as possible here. Okay, that's a great question. I just got a question about the guest fitness profile being different from the fitness roadmap. That's an excellent question, and they are two separate things. They serve the same purpose, but they're two separate things in this timeline. The guest fitness profile is going to be for your front desk staff to engage with the member first and get some high-level information. The fitness roadmap, if you don't sell them personal training with the three-path price presentation at POS, you're going to use that to dig deeper with your trainer and see if you can uncover some more deeply rooted reasons why they want health and fitness and how you better can connect them with personal training. So they are two separate things. They serve a similar purpose. It's going to be a lot of the same questions, but you need to get the guest fitness profile done first. And then day two, if they don't buy personal training and they meet with your trainer for a consult, they're going to use the fitness roadmap from that point on. That's the only one I got. So we'll move into the important stuff here. The next one is literally presenting the three-path price presentation. This is the easy part if you've done your due diligence up to this point, okay? Don't overcomplicate this. Talk to your management, talk to your owner. You need to decide what's going to go in these three different program options. But you have to know the goal is, if Susan has no idea what she's doing and she's typical, we want to provide, like in the transformation package, we want to provide your roadmap to success. We want to provide a customized nutrition program. We want to provide check-ins, personal training, t-shirt and water bottle, a little swag, and unlimited guest passes. This is just an example. But the meat and potatoes is they need personal training, and they need a lot of it, just like all of us do. I'm a personal trainer myself, but I would love a personal trainer, okay? So we need to go into this process understanding that the transformation is what we want to sell. Unless the member has convinced us that they are the 10% of the population that is so well trained and so well versed in everything they're doing, you know, they might fall into the standard category, but if they're not that person and they're your typical Susan, transformation is what we go with, okay? So when I'm presenting this, I say, Susan, based on everything you told me, you know, based on everything that we talked about, most people in your situation are going to go for our transformation package. This is going to include the nutrition programming that we talked about. You had mentioned that you were looking for some nutrition guidance. This is going to include 4 personal training sessions. This is going to help you with your strength training and making sure that you're on point and learning how to move properly so we don't risk any injury with that sore lower back. And then the one thing, guys, that's not on here is your MyZone belt. I don't know how that got removed, but MyZone belt should be included. And then you cover that and say, you know, based off the cardio training experience you have, I also would recommend the MyZone belt, which comes standard in our transformation package. I feel, Susan, that with this package, you are guaranteed success or sure to see success in the next 6 months, whatever you guys decide on, whatever she was looking for. Now, 5 out of 10 times, they're going to tell you that this is too much money. And that's okay. You want this transformation package to be a high price point. You need to ask for the sale and then shut up, okay? So you said, Susan, this is what I'd recommend. What do you think about getting started today? And stop talking. This is very, very important. Let them think it out. The longer the pause and the longer the silence, the better. Let them think about their options. Let them tell you that this is too much money. In a perfect world, they can afford it and they say, great, I'm going to go with it. That's That's exactly what I want to do. But like I said, in 5 out of 10 times, they're going to say, well, you know, Joe, I agree with you. This is exactly what we talked about, but I can't afford that. Now, my favorite line here is, no problem, Susan. The last thing I want to do is strap you financially. Let's look at our foundation package. What this is going to do for you is it's going to deliver 2 personal training sessions, still going to help you with your strength training, your sore lower back, making sure that you're moving properly. We're still going to do 30-day check-ins. You're still going to get your MyZone belt. But it's going to require a little bit more accountability on you, since you're not going to be meeting with a personal trainer 1 time a week. Maybe it's once every other week. What do you think about getting started on that one today? And then shut up. Let them think about it, okay? We have 3 different options for a reason, 3 different price points for a reason. Now we're into the 9 out of 10 times people are going to be able to afford the foundation package, okay? Because if they're telling you that they still can't afford that, and they're looking at their options, they're going to be fully aware that the standard membership is not for them. That is not their membership. They're going to try and think of ways that they can save money. Maybe it's not going to Caribou every day. Maybe it's every other day to help subsidizing some of this program fee, but they will find a way. If you've done your due diligence, they will find a way to make foundation happen. And I think anybody who's doing this right now will attest that this is the case. Given 3 choices, the middle one is the most often chosen. Okay? Now, perfect world, again, they sign up, foundation, everything's great. Great. You now have them connected with personal training, you have them connected with MyZone, and you're following up with them regularly. This is how we're going to start overcoming that 5-month slump. Okay? Worst case scenario, they're not sold on you, they're not sold on your club, they're not sold on your personal trainers, and they say, you know what, I think I'm just going to try the standard for now. We need to recognize that that means they're not sold on the idea that we can help them. This doesn't mean they have all the information they need, and we can't let them, in good conscience, run into the club and just try and hope they get success. I always liken it to having access to a doctor's office. Just because you have access to a doctor's office, does that mean you can fix yourself? No. Okay? We have to be aware that giving them an access card in this standard membership is setting them up to fail. We need to have some sort of fail-safe. Okay? So say they go with the standard. We've given them the access card. We need to stay in contact with these people. These are your high attrition people that will fall off in 5 to 11 months. Okay? So we need to then ship them to our member onboarding process, which is going to be that first consultation with a trainer. Super important. That's where they're going to go over the fitness roadmap, and that's where they're going to get connected just a little bit deeper. You know, maybe Monday when they came in, they were having a bad day, but Tuesday, the first day they come in, they're meeting with that trainer and things have changed. Okay? So you get a second stab at trying to reconnect them to something like transformation and foundation with that fitness roadmap. But the point of all this, guys, is that we need to do this at point of sale to start changing the feel and the atmosphere of our clubs. If we're not demonstrating that we're here for their success, we're going to lose every time. We are not a low price point player. We are Snap Fitness, and we get things done in our space. Okay, and you guys have to own that. So when people come in asking for prices and want that standard gym membership, oh, I'd like a single reciprocal, this is our way around that. Well, hey, Susan, let's talk about this for a second. Let's slow down. What are you trying to accomplish in our gym? And then go over that process, okay? Because without this, we're going to have a much harder time to connect them to those products and services that we've been trying to get them connected to for, forever, okay? So with that, I want to ask, again, for any more questions. That's kind of the nuts and bolts of this. Now, I want you guys to reach out to your brand performance specialists individually and go over maybe some different role-playing options, but in a perfect world, this is what this looks like, and this is how simple it can be. They will say yes if you present it. The hard part is asking for the sale. So I'll open it up. Any questions? Anybody there that has any questions on that last part? All right, what do we got here? Okay, so I got a great question here from Bill, and this is about people who sign up online. This is a very, very, very good point. But the purpose of those online signups is to catch the small percentage of people that we're missing that are only internet shoppers. So yes, right now they can only sign up for that one single reciprocal option. If that's the case, I mean, this should be 10%, 15% of your membership base. You need to get them connected the first day they come in with a fitness or your roadmap presentation with a trainer, okay? So yes, they will not be signing up at point of sale, but the reason we don't do that is because we can't build value in our program online, okay? So this should not be the majority of your members. If it is, we need to have a conversation offline on how to funnel them into the club first instead of only signing up for that one single option online. Hope that makes sense. Let's see here. So I got a question from Matt about $5 less for the transformation on your month-to-month membership. This was a template that I showed you guys. The actual pricing structure is up to you. I would recommend going over it with your brand performance specialist and find out what's going to work the best for your market and your club and who your competition is. But the overall picture of that is it's cheaper monthly to sign up with these products and services. It gives them a reason to cross that barrier into personal training land, into my zone land, which we know means retention. I don't mind giving up $5 a month because I know they're going to stay 11 months longer. So that's where I'm coming from with that price structure. But again, this is individual to each of your clubs, and you need to do some due diligence and find out what's going to work for you. Okay, and this is going to be different in every club. But transformation package should be every bell and whistle you offer and at the highest price point for your enrollment, okay? Let's see. Okay, so Jason asks if someone signs up Susan for a standard membership and then Susan comes back and now wants the transformation. Can you subtract the dues and reverse it and give her the deal? I wouldn't, honestly. That is a bonus of signing up at point of sale. Okay, that is one more carrot to dangle in front of them to get it done today. If they sign up for your transformation package, they're getting a cheap glimpse into your personal training department, a cheaper glimpse into your My Zone, a cheaper glimpse into what you guys do. If they come back a day later, unfortunately that service isn't available anymore for that price. Now that again is case by case. You guys know your members better than I do, but when I ran clubs, you got to have a hard line somewhere. Otherwise you're going to get walked on all the time. Okay, so you got to stand up for your programs and you got to believe in them. If you don't believe in them, it's not going to work. And they're going to do that every other day. They're going to come in and say, yeah, you know, I thought about it. You were right. I'm going to change my mind. So it's up to you guys, but if I were you, day 2, it's a totally different price structure and the price goes up to full price, retail. But good question, great question. Okay, now this is a good one. Kim asked about phone inquiries and people asking for price right then and there. This is a tough one to overcome, but there is something in the portal that you can look up, and it's your TI script. You can actually order these in your Print and Pro shop, and what it is a little script that every time you answer the phone, it's got a little sticky note. It's like a 3M Post-it. You're filling this TI script out. But the moral of the story is you are redirecting the person around price. We have so many options here, like the transformation, the foundation, and the standard membership. Giving them a price over the phone doesn't show them the value in our club. And if they're that member that's only looking for price, they're probably not really looking for success. Because like we already talked about, those members don't see success. 5 to 11 months, they're gone, and they're off to the next thing. Okay, a year later they come back, they try again. We've got to stop that cycle. So unfortunately, being abrupt with them in a nice way saying, I would be doing you a disservice, Susan, over the phone giving you prices. I'd love to have you come in and consult and find out what you're looking for to see if you'd be a good fit for our gym. Put it on you guys. You own the fact that we want success in our club. We don't want members walking around getting hurt, not seeing success, and leaving. They are walking billboards for you. So I know it's hard, but if there's not a webinar on the TI script, there will be soon. I know the script is online on the portal. Look it up. Talk to your brand performance specialist on how to perfect it. But I've been using that same TI script for 10 years, and it works phenomenally, okay? 10 years I've been using that script since the day I started sales at Gold's Gym years ago, and it works. Use it, it works. All right, so now I got one. So Matt asked something about My Zones. If a family is doing, if you sign up a family membership for a foundation or transformation package, in my view, you're going to go through and charge them double. So if it's a joint and they both want transformation, you're going to charge that enrollment twice. That is for a single membership. Okay, same with foundation. If you have a joint or a family that signs up for the foundation, you need to charge them 3 times. If there's 3 people going to be using personal training, 3 people that are going to be using your MyZone. Okay, so I got one from Josh here that says, any suggestions on overcoming objections? Any objection you get when you present that transformation package should have to do with cost. Okay, if you've done your job up to that point, they will tell you that they have the time for this. If you're reading through your guest fitness profile, you've already asked the questions. They will tell you that their spouse is on board. They will tell you that they don't know what they're doing, and they will tell you a timeline and when they want it done. So the best way to overcome an objection is to cut it off before it happens and not give them the opportunity to say, well, I got to ask my husband. Well, Susan, you told me before when we were talking about a half hour ago that your husband was on board with you doing this. Okay, so that's why it's so important to go over the guest fitness profile and go over it thoroughly. So the objections are only about price when you're doing the 3-path price presentation. Because you can overcome price, no problem. The last thing I want to do is strap you financially. Let's find a better program that fits your budget. That's easy. You can't overcome spousal. It's too late. You can't overcome I want to think about it. You haven't sold them in your tour. You haven't sold them in the guest fitness profile, and you haven't sold them with the atmosphere of your club if that's what you're getting. Those things are all correctable, but you're going to have to work with your specialist on how to do this on a case-by-case basis. Get on a weekly call with these guys and pick their brains about how to overcome specific objections. But the 50,000-foot view is they're not sold on your club, and it's too late if they're giving you some of those objections. So, all right, I think that's all the questions I have, but you guys are going to come up with a ton more. Refer back to the slides if you need anything. Moral of the story is talk to your brand performance specialist, and let's find out how to make this work for you in your club. This is the perfect way of doing things. We want to find out what's going to work for you and how we can perfect it for your market, okay? Because we understand this changes from club to club, but we want to start implementing transformation, foundation, standard to get people connected earlier so we don't lose them later, okay? Thanks for taking the time, guys. If you have any other questions offline, you can call me or call your brand performance specialist. They'll be able to help you out. Thanks a bunch.